8 News at 5:30 starts now.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Amy Lacey.
And I'm Juan Condi.
We, of course, want to take a look outside at those storms rolling through the area.
Let's go straight to 8 News Chief Meteorologist John Bernier. What's going on outside, John?
Well, we've got a line of showers that popped up earlier this afternoon because of all the heat and humidity outside, and that's what's going on over us now. To the west, just starting to push into West Virginia, is a cold front that's going to be moving in here. It's going to get rid of these very warm temperatures, but it's going to set us up for a few unsettled days. Here are the showers around us now. There's a pretty good one with some locally heavy downpours right on the north side of 295, right where it crosses Staples Mill. Another one over by Gum Springs. This is where we have the severe thunderstorm warning right now, just to the south of Buxton. Let me put a real quick storm track on that. This one's moving off towards the northeast at about 20 miles an hour. And here are some of the locations it's going to be headed to between now and 6:24. Central Nelson, southern portions of Albemarle counties. Again, severe thunderstorm warning. That is in effect until 6 o'clock this evening.
Now we'll look at our top stories on this Wednesday. In Chesterfield, police have arrested this former youth group leader in Colonial Heights for inappropriately touching a juvenile. Jeffrey Clark is charged with aggravated sexual battery. He's a former group leader at Emmanuel Baptist Church. Authorities say he met his victim through his role in the church. He's being held at the Chesterfield County Jail without bond. Richmond police are investigating 2 people shot to death today in Mosby Court. This on Accommodation Street. 4 Richmond schools in the area were briefly on lockdown after this happened. They've since been cleared. Currently no word on suspects in this case or if police have anyone in custody.
A judge has granted bond for 55-year-old Stanley Dawson. He's the man charged with hitting and killing a cyclist in Hanover. Dawson faces involuntary manslaughter charges for the death of Carrie Wortham. Court records show the Mechanicsville man has a history of poor driving. We are learning more about a new bill aimed at making gun sellers more responsible for knowing who they're selling to.
U.S. Senator Tim Kaine is sponsoring this bill in the Senate, which critics claim is a backdoor way of requiring background checks.
Our 8 News reporter Mark Tenya joins us now to explain. Mark?
Amy, Juan, the senator says it's virtually impossible to hold some sellers responsible under current laws, while others say the bill does nothing to stop criminals.
The bill, introduced by Senator Tim Kaine, would not require background checks, but does say gun sellers can be held liable if they don't do a reasonable job determining if the person they're selling to can legally own a gun.
This would cover everything, and I think it's a very well thought out idea.
Annie Goddard's son was shot 4 times and survived the tragedy of Virginia Tech. He's been working for years on gun laws, saying the bill makes sense.
They should remain responsible right up until the time that their gun is sold. That responsibility to make sure the gun goes to somebody who's entitled to have it.
Goddard says current laws do nothing to hold private and online sellers accountable.
The idea that you can get away with selling a gun to somebody without asking and then just turn around and say, oh, I didn't know.
It's just a big, useless, difficult to apply law.
David Hancock says the bill is too broad and would be difficult to apply. He says it's unreasonable to determine what is and isn't a reasonable effort on checking into a potential buyer, believing anyone could be charged under the bill as it's written.
I think it's another feel-good law. It's supposed to make you think somebody's doing something to help you, and they're not.
Hancock says most gun sellers are doing the right thing, and this bill wouldn't stop criminals from selling illegally.
Bottom line, a criminal is going to be a criminal. People selling guns on the streets, they're criminals themselves.
The senator's proposal comes before the Whatever It Takes Day of Action in Washington, D.C. tomorrow, where a number of advocates will be rallying to discuss gun violence. Mark Tenya, 8 News.
We have a crime alert now. The FBI is offering a $10,000 reward for help identifying and finding 2 armed serial robbers. The 2 suspects in this surveillance video are accused of robbing at least 6 7-Eleven convenience stores in Northern Virginia, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. 3 of the robberies happened in Alexandria. If you know anything, you're urged to call the FBI. News where you live now in Hopewell. Police have arrested a man for allegedly robbing the Wells Fargo Bank on South 15th Avenue yesterday. Officers say James Moore threatened to shoot a teller and demanded money before running away. He's charged with attempted robbery.
Debate over the Confederate battle flag in Virginia continues in Alexandria this evening, where city council members agreed that the city shouldn't fly it any longer. The unanimous vote will end Confederate flag displays on Robert E. Lee's birthday and Confederate Memorial Day. The council also voted to discuss the possibility of changing the names of 33 streets that bear the names of Confederate military leaders and Confederate memorials. In Pittsylvania County, a judge has ordered Confederate flags and memorabilia to be removed from the county courtroom. They'd been on display behind glass doors at the court's entrance. And earlier this month, you'll recall, a Patrick County judge removed a portrait of Jeb Stuart from the county circuit court, citing the need for African Americans to feel that justice there is impartial.
This back-to-school season, if your kids need their homework help, Henrico County Public Libraries have you covered. Kids can connect with a teacher live online and get assistance with math, reading, or writing. Homework help is available for kids in 3rd through 12th grades if they have a Henrico County Library card. For more back-to-school coverage, keep it here on 8 News. Plus, for answers to your questions, check out our website, WRIC.com.
I don't count things down so hard to Christmas usually, but just over a week now from the UCI Road World Cycling Championship.
This is going to be big, and now one highly anticipated competitor's chance at racing may have been cut short.
8 Sports Director Mitch Carson now with this potentially sidelining injury, Mitch.
Juan and Amy, Chris Froome won the Tour de France for the 2nd time in July. He was expected to have a big impact on this month's UCI race in Richmond, but just last week, Froome broke his foot. Froome's team, Team Sky, confirmed the injury, which occurred when the rider hit a barrier during the Vuelta de España, there's the accent, last week. And his team said the break is bad enough that Froome can't ride for another 2 weeks. So short of him finding some sort of magic healing powder, the 2-time Tour de France champion likely will be just a spectator here in Richmond, just like you and I. And that's very bad news for cycling fans, but there's even more bad news. All right, Peter Sagan and Fabian Cancellara, 2 well-known cyclists, their status is also in doubt due to injury and illness, respectively. Now, you can find anything else you need to know ahead of the races at WRIC.com. Mitch Carr, 8 Sports.
Coming up, danger during the commute for Phoenix residents. What police are doing after several people report shots fired at their cars.
Plus, a presidential day trippers. We'll be heading inside James Madison's Montpelier coming up. Christina?
And coming up on 8 News at 6, a major audit of the city of Richmond shows some big problems. 8 News presses local officials and gets answers for you. Plus, your children's homework habits could be doing more harm than good. How to make the changes to make the grade. That's coming up tonight at 6.
And we are in the middle of our back-to-school photos contest. These are just a few of the entries that we've received. Some smiling faces.
Aw, yeah, you can enter your photos at WRIC.com. We'll give you a chance to win a $100 gift card from Saks and Shoes. You'll have until Monday to enter, and 3 winners will be chosen in all. Don't forget, you have to go to WRIC.com to download your pictures to qualify.
You are watching 8 News at 5:30. We are covering the news where you live.
From Mosley to Midlothian, including the crazy weather out there. Stay with us. John, Amy, and I are back in just a moment.
Turning now to national news, a string of recent shootings targeting drivers on a Phoenix highway is being called domestic terrorism. One incident happened just this afternoon. There have been 9 shootings in the last 10 days on I-10. A 13-year-old girl has even been injured. No word yet if the cases are linked. And as local police and FBI search for suspects, drivers say they are scared. Officers urge drivers to report anything suspicious that they see.
The Kentucky court clerk jailed for denying same-sex couples marriage licenses is scheduled to return to work soon. Protesters are still clashing outside the Rowan County Courthouse. Inside, same-sex couples continue to get licenses from other clerks. A San Francisco man who traveled to get married in Rowan County to protest Davis explains his feelings for her.
Disgust. Not because she was released, but because she is being made a martyr for the cause, a cause that isn't a cause.
Davis spent 6 days behind bars, jailed for contempt. Her lawyer says she'll return to work Friday or Monday. We'll have updates for you here on 8 News. And still ahead, another milestone for pop star Taylor Swift. Why she and millions 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 of fans are celebrating. John?
It's almost like Carl Sagan saying billions and billions. We might have billions and billions of raindrops across central Virginia over the next few days. A really wet forecast into the weekend. Details are next.
Welcome back. It's time now for another 8 News day trip here in Central Virginia.
This time, 8 News meteorologist Tim Pandages takes us to James Madison's Montpelier.
This week on 8 News Day Trippers, we hopped on the road and headed northwest to Orange County, the home of several historical sites, but possibly the most recognizable and most notable is the home of James and Dolly Madison here in Montpelier. Sprawling across 2,400 acres, this massive estate was a fully functioning town back in its day. Now it is a living museum open to the public to explore and learn about the life of our nation's 4th president.
This house was owned privately by the William S. DuPont family for over 100 years. The structure you see today was at that time encased in a larger house. We undertook one of the largest historical restoration processes ever undertaken and really resurfaced James Madison's original home. For the last 15 years, the house has been operated by the National Trust for Historic Preservation, and so it's really only been in that period that it's been open to the public and interpreted as a historic site.
As Giles mentioned, the site has undergone major restorations to bring it back to the time of James and Dolly, and generous donations have made this all possible. The grounds have many stories yet to be told, as an entire team of archaeologists work to unearth new clues to Montpelier's past. Something unique here is that there's an observation booth to watch the work being done and converse with archaeologists about what exactly is going on. In the newly constructed visitor center, you can grab a souvenir, browse galleries, or grab a bite to eat while enjoying the beautiful views of the Shenandoah Mountains.
Everybody at James Madison's Montpelier wants to see more people taking advantage of this place as somewhere you can spend the entire day and really immerse yourself in the American story.
Our next stop takes us just down the road to a museum dedicated to the study and celebration of the life of James Madison, as well as paying tribute to the other Virginia presidents.
This is the James Madison Museum, and it was the first museum in the United States to celebrate James Madison, 4th President, father of the Constitution, author of the Bill of Rights. You're standing in what is predominantly Mr. Madison's room, also a tribute to our other Virginia presidents such as Zachary Taylor, James Monroe, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington.
The museum houses many interesting exhibits showcasing different points in Madison's life, historic artifacts important to Virginia, as well as history surrounding Orange County.
This museum is so much more than its name. The James Madison Museum. You have here not only some wonderful artifacts of James Madison, you have a rich heritage of Orange and rural Virginia history here, all in one place.
If you have the chance, Orange County has much to offer and is definitely worth the drive to experience. Reporting in Orange County for 8 News Day Trippers, I'm Tim Pandages.
That would definitely be worth the trip. So interesting.
Sounds like a full day of information and history out there.
It is. John, let's head over to you. You have some interesting video, too.
Oh, yes, we actually got Amanda and Morgan a little busy today. Get them going there. Of course, what are the resistance? They probably get the resistance set on 0 on those bikes, although Morgan does like to bike and get a little workout in there. This was a spin-a-thon for Child Fund International, and what they're trying to do is help raise some money. Child Fund International, the official charity of the UCI World Championships, to bring bikes to underprivileged children in developing countries. They weren't going very long on that. They need to go a little bit longer, about an hour's worth, to get that thing going. We've had the heat and humidity going a little too long for us here. We're kind of spinning our way until we can get rid of it, but it's going to go away thanks to this cold front that's finally moving into the area. It's been a September steamer down to the south, but the front is slowing down, so when it gets here, it's going to hang around and set us up for a couple of days of unsettled weather. Here are the showers associated with the front. Here are the ones that are associated, just all the heat and humidity over us here. Now, the good news is this storm has weakened over Nelson County. That severe thunderstorm warning has been canceled. Close to home here, we've got a thunderstorm back to the west over Goochland, and showers, as you can see, really on the north side of Interstate 295 up towards Mechanicsville, up towards Old Green Park. It'll damp to be doing a little running out there. And it's still pretty warm. Temperatures have warmed back up. You can see it's 88 degrees Mechanicsville. The Math and Science Center checking in at 89. Down in Southside, still in the lower 90s. And it is steamy out there. So we are going to have showers and thunderstorms around this evening. Then as that front pushes in, we'll get some showers later on in the wee hours of the night, down to 74 degrees. Tomorrow, temperatures do drop into the 80s over us, not the mid-90s. Good chance for showers over the area, especially in the afternoon. So here's what sets up tomorrow morning. Clouds over us. The front's kind of hanging around. We've got showers that will march through in the afternoon hours, maybe even a rumble of thunder. Then the good news, at least temporarily, the system slips on down to the south. It gives us a break as we head into Friday. Friday looks like a pretty good day, but you see this moisture over North Carolina? It's coming back in our direction over the weekend. That's all said and done by the time we get to Sunday. We're looking over an inch of rain for us back to the west towards Charlottesville and down towards the beach. 2 to 3 inches possible across the area. So a showery day tomorrow, good day Friday, good night for the high school football games Saturday. Not looking so good. Getting better Sunday. Fantastic early part of next week. We're back right after this.
Welcome back, everybody, and happy Wednesday. It is time to see what's trending.
Christina Fieriksen now with the very latest for us.
All right, we're going to get right to it. Up first, there is a new champion for the title of most followed person on Instagram. Singer Taylor Swift now has 45.6 million followers on Instagram. That surpasses reality star Kim Kardashian, who has a mere 45.5 million. Kardashian took over the most followed title from singer Beyonce just a few weeks ago. It's a battle. It continues. Beyonce currently stands at 45 million. All right, thrill seekers, this is for you. Ohio theme park Cedar Point is unveiling plans for a brand new roller coaster. They say it will be the tallest, fastest, and longest dive coaster in the world. Valravn has a 233-foot drop, 90-degree foot drop. It goes up to 75 miles per hour. Whew, it opens in 2016. Time for us to gear up for it. That's what's trending.
And even that video has me bracing for myself. I look holding on. It was a little too real.
It looks like a lot of fun.
It looks scary.
Oh, scary fun. We want to hear from you as well. What do you think? Join the conversation on any of these topics on our Facebook page. Just search 8 News and stay with us. We are back in just a moment.
Welcome back. A virtual grocery store. Just sit on your couch, click what you need, and fresh groceries are delivered to your door the next day. Rebecca Jarvis explains this new Google Express.
Web giant Google announcing they will begin testing delivery for fresh food and groceries as part of their Google Express service. Huge caveat, the trial will start rolling out only in San Francisco and one other yet-to-be-determined city and won't begin until later this year. But the move is a clear sign of the increasing shift towards digital shopping. Now, a little over 2% of grocery shoppers are using those virtual carts. The industry is expected to earn $13.1 billion this year alone.
It's a lucrative market. More and more consumers are wanting this option of pressing a button and having food delivered to their doorstep.
The home-delivered grocery market is already saturated with major competitors. There's Amazon Fresh.
Now you'll have more time in your day.
Fresh Direct, Instacart, Peapod, and Hy-Vee. And now Google is beefing up the competition, telling us they want to help customers get the full store delivered to them.
It's kind of a race to see who can provide the best service for the least amount of money.
Rebecca Jarvis, ABC News, New York.
It may help you save some money and eat healthier rather than walking through all of those aisles on an empty stomach. That can be the hardest part of grocery shopping.
I tell you, but what if you're shopping online with that same empty stomach? That really might be.
It could happen too.
Either way.
Right. We're not going to have to do anything anywhere to get everything before too long.
All right. Thanks, Amy. We have a jam-packed half hour of news where you live.
Let's get started.